So this is how you find all the values for hybrid parts in GT4, the ones that you can't get from using the hybrid editor. So yeah, before we get really into this, if you're just looking to make a normal hybrid, I strongly recommend the hybrid creator as it's a lot more accessible and stuff. But if you're wanting to make your cars even dumber, then this is the tutorial for you. Stuff we need to install, we have GT4 of course. We have Cheat Engine, I have 7.3, and another note, apparently Cheat Engine, it like installs adware or something into your computer, so take that as it is. Yeah, so GT4, Cheat Engine, and this is the hybrid workbook. I'm just gonna open up the engine section. Over here, we have the car name and the hybrid codes. I've already chosen the first two cars in the list here just to make it easier. So those are the Honda HSC and the Roof CTR in quotation marks for some reason. So yeah, change into the car you want to find the hybrid parts for. When you're in Cheat Engine, you have to select this magnifying glass thing and come down to select your Gran Turismo 4 ISO or whatever it is. And now the process is attached to Gran Turismo 4, which means you can now search up any address that you wish in the game. And for us, we need to search up the engine address. So first of all, click the square here that says hex, and then you should have a bunch of zeros pop up. For us, we only need the last 3 digits to be typed something else. 5E7, which is exactly the same as that. Exact value 4 bytes, yep, that should be all good. And then we search it up. And now we should have a bunch of addresses popping up. Now, we can't find the exact engine address from just this alone, which is where the CTR comes in, or whatever your second car of choice is. Simply switch into it and find the address for the CTR. And then important here, you have to click next scan. So it keeps the addresses you found earlier. You might just have to sort through all of these addresses, and the way you do that, essentially just add everything to the list. And what this now visualizes is, if we switch into a different car, for example this Corvette, it changes everything there. And yeah, a way to know that it works is to freeze the value, which is this box here. So how this works is you get a selection of cars that you don't really mind having engines potentially being ruined, and then freeze a few values, I'd recommend around 4 or less, and just switch cars until you see some kind of change happen. So what happened here is I found the CTR, which now has 250 horsepower, so clearly one of those values that I just froze has affected the CTR's engine. I think we found it. We have a huge V8 in this thing. Perfect. To find all the hidden values, click Browse this memory region. So you right click on the engine, or whatever the part is. Click on Browse this memory region, and now you have full access to the inner region of the game. I don't know. All of these numbers here are values for your car that you've currently selected. So this one that's been highlighted is the engine. For the interesting things, scrolling down, I think it's around 25 or so lines, and then you should be able to see this row of text called FF646464 or along those lines. So yeah, once you find that area, move your mouse cursor just 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros across from the first FF. And those two are your power multiplier values. Once you find those zeros, right click on the first 0, so that would be the one highlighted blue on this tutorial here. A menu should come up saying add address to the list. Set the type to array of bytes, and make the length 2 bytes. This should now be in our cheat engine, perfect. And just to demonstrate, let's set it to maximum value. Yep, 16,000 horsepower, perfect. So that's the first power multiplier. What you can do is then repeat this process for the 64, which are your other multipliers like weight and the other powers. But this time set the type as just an individual byte and don't bother with the length or anything. So now we should have 3 100 addresses to the list, and these are all the round values that are completely unchangeable in the base game. You can now make this thing weigh, I'm gonna guess, what, 3,000 kilos? Almost. We're gonna get the fully customizable race suspension, and just keep an eye on all these values in the middle here as I buy it. Oh, it's actually a little bit below. Whoops. The best way to go about this is to enter the garage tuning option, which if you didn't know, press start in the garage menu and you'll be able to tune your car. All of these are adjustable. For example, we're gonna edit the spring rates. We're gonna give it some extra camber. So yeah, I would recommend not doing everything at once. I just recommend doing small steps when you're trying to find out what exactly you're tuning. So for example, we are looking at camber and we're looking at spring rate. And as we click OK, there you go. I actually was selected one of them right away. Perfect. So we didn't need to have an array of bytes for this one. We could have just a singular byte, I'm pretty sure. It goes up to 255. So yeah, that is not natural camber. Anyway, yeah, we have a wing now, so we can edit downforce. Once again, engine, browser's memory region. Okay, there it is, perfect. Once again, add to the list. Luckily, by searching up the engine code, you can find all of the car's data in this section of bytes here. I think it goes a little further up as well for stuff like colors or car bodies or car banners, which is even more cursed, I feel. Something weird about Cheat Engine is that you have to, or at least for a while, you had to offset addresses. I cannot remember how to do that, I'm sorry. I'm sure there's guides. I found a guide somewhere on the internet. What is that bug slide setup right there?